Meantime, Eagle Pass's mayor says this recent surge of migrants is the largest he has ever seen. He says yesterday was hectic and today looks like it'll be more of the same.
Our Daniela Ibarra is at the border in Eagle Pass right now. Daniela, you're there live. What are you seeing?
Well, Steve, we're not seeing much activity in the river, but on this side of the border, we're seeing a couple of different agencies patrolling the river. You can see what looks like the National Guard right here behind me. But earlier today, this was the spot where dozens and dozens of migrants were waiting to be processed into the U.S. And we saw a lot of families, we saw a lot of men here by themselves, and we saw kids. And, you know, people were lucky enough to have backpacks, but we saw other people who didn't even have both shoes. Now, a lot of these people told me that they were coming here from Venezuela. We spoke with one of them about why he made the journey here. Several dozen migrants divided after crossing the Rio Grande River. Many are Venezuelans who came alone, like Jimmy. He says he made the month-long journey to the U.S. to work. Jimmy hopes to make pizzas in Denver. Jimmy says he's seen people drown and die along the way. Several, he says, are fleeing Venezuela's economic crisis. Jimmy says he made the decision to come now instead of waiting for a humanitarian visa. Several people in Eagle Pass and across the country see this influx of migrants as a problem. Jimmy says they should be thanking God for not living in a country with a crisis, adding Venezuelans would open their arms to immigrants. And many of these migrants tell me their stop in Eagle Pass is just a pit stop. They're heading to other parts around the U.S. But the mayor tells me that in the short time they are here, it is causing a lot of problems here in the city of Eagle Pass. So you'll hear more from him coming up at 6. But for now, we're live from the border. Daniela Ibarra, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Daniela. Stay with us for a little bit. I'm sorry you're getting caught up in the dust there as it looks like some of the National Guard are pulling out from there. We are learning a lot of stories, and we're also hearing from people who live in Eagle Pass that this journey has been difficult for a lot of these migrants and even deadly as they try to cross the Rio Grande.
Yeah, Steve, well, at least with the migrants I spoke here in this section of the river, they told me it was pretty easy to pass. The man that I spoke to, Jimmy, he says it really was just a breeze getting to this side.
And they're suffering from just exposure to the elements, because I'm told that these migrants often have been traveling for 2 or 3 months on foot and any way they can.
Yeah, well, that man, Jimmy, told me, you know, he's been traveling here for about a month and a half, and he says on the way here he's seen people die. He says he's helped some people crossing in other bodies of water, and here, when we were here earlier, a lot of them just looked really hot. I mean, it's hot out here, and a lot of them didn't have water, and some people were asking us for cell phone chargers. That way they could try to call their loved ones back home.
I want to ask you another couple questions here, Daniela. We see the razor wire that's behind you. I think the border buoys are not far from where you're standing right now still, even though they're caught in a court battle. Are you seeing difficulty with the migrants? Are you seeing those be deterrents to migrants crossing the river?
Steve, at least in this section, we're not seeing that. We saw people when we were setting up for our live shot right now, we saw people just cross the border. It took them maybe 2-3 minutes, and, you know, they were just grabbing hands, walking to this side of the border.
Once they're here, what happens, Daniela? What kind of an impact is it having on the infrastructure of the city?
Well, the mayor told us that this is having a pretty big impact. He says he hasn't really seen anything like this. He says that the migrants are inundating the healthcare facilities. He talked about how the 2 migrants, I don't know if you mentioned this already, but 2 migrants have died crossing the river here in Eagle Pass. Yesterday it was a 4-year-old, according to the mayor, and then today it was an adult man. And he told me that some of these migrants who were struggling in the river, you know, struggling to stay afloat, they've had to take them to the hospital. He also said that this is having an impact on the economy, with one of the bridges here between Mexico and the U.S. had to be shut down yesterday. And he says that it's a safety concern, really.
Absolutely. Daniela Ibarra, live from Eagle Pass. Thank you, Daniela.
Llegué a Panamá, de Panamá a Nicaragua.
Acá no tengo familia, me va a recibir un amigo.
I pray every day somebody do something urgent for these people.
From Eagle Pass to right here in San Antonio.
Tonight, we're continuing to follow the influx of migrants arriving at the Texas border.
We have team coverage on the latest wave of migrants crossing into the U.S. Our Jonathan Cotto standing by at the Migrant Resource Center here in San Antonio, where people have been arriving throughout last night and again today.
Yeah, but first let's go to our Daniela Ibarra in Eagle Pass, where the mayor there says this influx is overwhelming that city. Daniela, the resources to help these people running scarce in Eagle Pass right now, correct?
Yeah, Steve, the mayor tells me that the surge that they've been seeing over the past 24 hours or so has really strained their hospital system. They say the economy. Just off to my shoulder, you can't see it in the shot, but that is one of the international bridges here between U.S. and Mexico, and it's one of the only ones that's open here. There's another one in town that he says has been closed because Border Patrol has been here helping with the migrants, and he says because it's been shut down, they haven't really been able to get the toll money from that, which is a huge economic hit for them.
Daniela, we can't see anybody from this view, but you're right there along the river. So talk about what you have seen in terms of anyone crossing there today. Is anyone still underneath that bridge as they have been the past couple of days?
No, Myra, we've really kind of seen the migrants come over in waves. So earlier today, we were here and we saw a couple dozen migrants standing here waiting to be processed. But in the past hour or so I've been watching, I've only seen about a handful of so migrants come over. But I did speak with one earlier today who made that, that trek across the river. And he said it really wasn't that hard as hard as he had expected it to be.
You've got that razor wire behind it. At 5 o'clock, we talked a little bit about that. That doesn't, it seems as if migrants have figured out how to get over or through that razor wire. Is that what you were witnessing today?
Well, see, we don't actually get to see them come off the river onto the land over here. We're kind of blocked from that area, but from what I've seen right here, this stretch right here, it seems like they're getting through pretty easy. It makes it maybe takes them 3 to 5 minutes to get across.
Yeah, I want to go further. I mean, you have been hearing tales of this, not where you're at, but other parts of the Rio Grande being deadly for some of these migrants to cross, correct?
Yeah, we heard from the mayor today that an adult man actually died. He drowned while crossing the river. We're not sure if it was this spot, but he said that, drowning is something that he sees a lot in this area. And then yesterday he says that a 4-year-old girl drowned. So it just talks about, the trek it takes to come over here to this side of the border.
Daniela Ibarra live in Eagle Pass. Thank you so much, Daniela. Appreciate it.